Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a very special video, in my opinion. So, if y'all have seen the videos on my story, y'all know that in 2015, I had a spinal fusion. And that was very difficult for me. I was terrified. Did not think I would make it at times, but today marks 7 years since I came home. I was going to do this on the day of the surgery, but it didn't end up happening because I got sick and everything. So I figured, why not do it on the day I came home? So I'm going to show y'all a lot of pictures. I've got them all on my iPad. So I'm going to show y'all these pictures and y'all can sort of see everything that happened when my surgery happened. So I did have a teacher come and pray with me the morning of my surgery. Whoopsies. So it's easier to show y'all on my iPad. So that's my mom and one of my teachers. And then this was waking up from surgery. I don't remember any of this. But as you can tell, my face is all swollen from the anesthesia and everything. And I had to put my hair in pigtails. They said to put it in braids, but my hair wasn't long enough because I cut it right before. And there's me in the hospital bed. All the wires and stuff. Here's a brighter picture. And then there's another picture that was probably my first time sitting up. One of the first times, which, I mean, if you look at me, you can tell my stomach is all full from all the anesthesia still. And I was in a lot of pain. I mean, you can tell I had IV in both hands. And at this point, I had one more in my wrist. This one, you can tell my stomach better. Now it looks all big. I look fat. And someone brought me Olaf, Build-A-Bear. So then I'm assuming this is one of the days when my oxygen stats started dropping and they put me on oxygen. And of course, I'm sleeping because I was very tired. I slept most of the time in the hospital. They would have to wake me up when physical therapy came by to get me out of bed and stuff. So, and this is the bad day. The day I almost died. I had to go back down to the ICU. And that's an external ventilator. They didn't want to have to do an actual ventilator unless they had to, so they did the external ventilator and put me on meds and stuff. So I don't remember a lot of it, but I do remember some. I remember the day I had to go back down to the ICU and I was distraught and hated it. This picture of me on oxygen. It looks like I have been crying. Who knows why? That's the bandage on my back before we We were rebandaging it. And those are all the stickers I had to have on my face with that big mask thing to try and help keep it from causing a lot of marks on my face. If you don't like blood, skip ahead 10 minutes. I mean 10 seconds, but that was my scar. But it still had the steri strips on it and you could see the glue. I don't know that I have a good picture of my scar. We'll see. That day, I finally got outside and got some sun. Trying to act all cool, but I was still kind of not feeling it. There's me and my mama. Someone came and decorated my door. She did most of it. I more watched her do it. Because I was in a lot of pain and not feeling it. But they at the hospital, the nurses really wanted me to decorate my door. And that was the day I walked the most. That's with my parents. They've got like laps. I don't know how many laps equals a mile, but I did 3 laps that day. And so she a nurse practitioner or just a nurse? I don't know. But her specialty was like in orthopedics. She took a picture to send to my doctor. And then I came home. So those are the pictures I have. Hold on. There's the x-ray of what it looks like inside my back. And so there are a lot of screws at the top and the bottom, and then it's alternating, except where the curve was really bad, which is where there's a bunch, and then they alternated and did a bunch at the bottom. So, and I am very fortunate. I know of 2 people that have either had a screw come loose or a rod break, and they've had to have the surgery again. So I'm just very, very thankful to God that I did not have to have the surgery again. And this is also the morning of surgery. I was in tears basically that whole morning because I knew surgery was a big deal and I was very scared. And so, yeah, I was very scared, terrified. I'm looking because I had my mom take pictures of my back periodically, but the last one I looked at was when I had an infection. Yes, I did get an infection. And so I did have to be on antibiotics. And it was probably from scratching, and I did actually scratch one time. Because it itches when something's healing. Itching is a good sign because it means it's healing. But, yeah, I scratched. It bled. Yes, I may not have a good picture, but here is a picture of my spine before the surgery. So, but now it's all straight and I can't curl my back. I can bend and try to touch my toes. I can't exactly touch my toes. But let me go back. There's one picture where you can tell it's an infection. The other one, I don't think you can tell. It's one of my first scar pictures. And I had to keep sunscreen on it really well because that's where I scratched. Anyways, so one of the biggest things God taught me is that He's in control. and that He's got it. Because on those days that I almost died, it was like I wasn't ready to go. I didn't want to go because I had a surgery that I would have died without because my spine was pushing on my lungs. But it changed my life forever because this surgery made me a whole lot weaker. Normally, when you leave the hospital, you can walk on your own, you can bathe yourself. I had to walk with a walker or with a person, holding on to a person, and I couldn't bathe myself. My mom had to help me every day. There was a lot of dry shampoo involved and a lot of sponge baths. And usually you don't have to go to physical therapy after. I had to go to physical therapy, I think, for 2 months. And just doing what I can to get stronger because I was so weak. It was a very hard time in my life. I'm thankful God brought me through it. But trusting God and that He's in control is what helped me get through it. So, it's one of those things when hard times come, God is in control. Trust the Lord. It'll be okay. And we've had a lot of hard times. Well, maybe not a lot, but there was something hard that happened in my family recently. And it didn't happen to me, so I don't feel like the person would want me sharing, so I'm not going to. But it was one of those times where it's like, God is in control. Gotta trust. And my grandfather gave me something several years, well, not several, well, maybe 5 years ago. It was on my desk and it had fallen, so I moved it. And it says, relax, God's in charge. And it's a fish eating penguin, and penguins eat fish, so. Just relax. So, it also gave me hope, the surgery, that things would get better. And from where I was post-surgery, I'm much better. I have those times where I go downhill and then I come back up and I go downhill. It was after this surgery, maybe 6 months after, that I started having the rib pain. And that was when it would be for 10 minutes at a time. Until September of 2016 that it was an hour and I had to go to the hospital. But that is all in my story. Anything else? I think that's really all. I really wanted to just show y'all the pictures and sort of go through the pictures to celebrate 7 years post-op. And yeah, I only have to see the doctor on a yearly basis now. It's my favorite doctor, so it's a little sad that I only see him on a yearly basis. I actually haven't seen him since before COVID, so I'm well overdue for an appointment. But maybe we'll get one scheduled this summer. Hopefully. He always signs up for the muscle walk and supports me. He signed up for the Hannah's Hope 5K, and he couldn't come that day because he had to work, but he did sign up, and I have his t-shirt. So, that's all So, I think that's it. Yeah. For now, at least. I might think of something and tell y'all, but for now, that's all. I will see y'all next time. Never lose hope.